Good. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Obviously, Adrian from. So, for those who don't know, we have two businesses, Tech Wales and Tech West. Tech Wales has been running for 12 years, servicing clients across South Wales. And Tech West is our new business that's we've opened near Bristol to come into the West Country and um, service some more customers, hopefully, this side of the bridge. But anyway, as I say, the company was founded in 2012. We've been a Microsoft partner since we started. We do deliver the day-to-day business IT support, so whether that's remotely, if someone's got a problem, they can ring up the office, and the guys will jump onto your PC remotely, fix the issue, or on site to plug in networks and all that lovely stuff that needs to happen on site. We do also do business telecom, so whether that's an internet connection or a phone system, we also do mobile phones as well. So if a company needs all that kind of basic IT support, we do that. But I think where we're different from most IT providers is that we have got this business application knowledge, and we know well, hopefully after today you'll know a bit more about what I'm talking about when I'm saying that. And as I say, this year we've opened our office near Bristol, so that's our focus at the moment. Uh, Over 12 years, you can imagine we've got quite a few customers in that time. And we've also got some fantastic reviews. So if you Google Tech Wales, particularly on Google, then you'll just see what people say about us. We are still a company that is big enough to be able to respond to people's problems, but we're small enough to still care about delivering outstanding service. And for me, that's been our key, is that service element and making sure that we are, um, you know, really helping people with their day-to-day needs. Okay, so anyway, today, hopefully, I won't bore you to death. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about how technology can be used to grow your business rather than it being seen as a cost center, which is all too typical. So when you're running a business, if we run, most of us, apart from Mark, maybe, run it for profit. We want to be able to enjoy the good things in life. But so how can we increase the amount of profit that we're making? Well, first of all, obviously, we need to understand the financial fundamentals. Money in minus your costs equals profit. So what we want to do is we want to grow that profit so we can either go out and get more income or we can reduce our costs. And that's what we're about in particular. So you can do that by reviewing your contracts, maybe your supplier contracts, maybe your customer contracts, to make sure that the balance is right there. Invest in IT infrastructure. Well, I would say that I'm an IT company, wouldn't so, but also we want to reduce the costs to the business and implement efficient processes. So we want to make sure that what we do that we're doing things in the most efficient way, and also listening to customers' feedback, getting understanding what the customer's looking for, making sure that we've got regular contact points with them for that. So, as I said, one of the ways of looking at it is uh, your first things is your IT infrastructure, because if we haven't got the ground level technology right, then we're not going to be able to save costs by changing other things. So first of all, client devices. Um, one of the things that I say a lot, if you need a laptop, don't buy it from PC World. Or if you do, don't buy the cheapest model. It'll last about 6 to 12 months, and then you'll be so frustrated with it running slow, not performing. In reality, these smartphone devices, you're paying about £1,000 for the phone, and yet people try and skimp on a laptop by spending £300. And as I say, it's just going to cause you more pain in the long run. And again, it's losing you time while you're waiting for it to catch up. So if you are buying a new laptop or a tablet for work purposes, then that 800 to £1,000 mark is is about where you should be. That will give you a device that will last three or 4 years. It's going to be able to cope with updates and so on. The other thing then is you need somewhere to store all your files because as good as the laptops are, they break, they get lost, you lose stuff. As a Microsoft partner, we resell Microsoft Office 365. That gives you the core Microsoft functionality, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and your file and email services. But it also, and this is what many people don't know, it comes with a whole host of other tools to allow you to collaborate online, both with individuals within the company and external suppliers. Process automation and integration with third-party applications. That's what I'm going to talk about today. And also business and artificial intelligence, which are big, obviously. Talk People are talking a lot about this stuff at the moment, because it really can save you a lot of time when you're trying to run a business. And there's so many advantages, but if you want to use that stuff, you have to make sure that you've again built up from the bottom and you've got the ground rules in right. I was going to say Microsoft Office 365. Uh, everyone has probably heard of it, I hope, by now. And it gives you those core Microsoft products that we've probably grown up with: Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive, and OneDrive to store your files, and obviously Microsoft Teams. But what people don't necessarily understand is that it also comes with a whole host of other products, that Microsoft are constantly releasing new ones into here, as technology evolves. It's very quick for them to release these things. So bookings allow you to do online bookings. Delve allows you to search through all the information that's stored within there. Engage to get a team working together. Forms, obviously, so you can capture information. Kazala, well, we won't talk about Kazala. It's Microsoft decided that WhatsApp was really popular, so they'd create their own, and it went down as well as a lead balloon. But anyway, it is still there. Microsoft Lists, a great way to organize yourself. Loop for sharing ideas with your team. Planner, if you've got a wall board, if you're running a company, you've got a wall board of jobs to do or anything like that, and you move them along through the wallboard. Planner is a great online replacement for that. Obviously, Microsoft Project, which has been around for years. I'm sure Amanda's probably come across that in her life. Stream, which is like YouTube, but all the videos are kept within your company, so you don't have to share videos online. Sway, which is a great way to create online presentations, and share them on the internet or on Facebook. Obviously, a to-do list and then Microsoft Video. But there are also add-ons to 365 called the Power Platform. These are a set of technologies to allow businesses to um, uh, make themselves more efficient, to automate business process, to get customers involved in that business process, and also analyze what they're doing. When you're looking at your business, what are the biggest costs? Well, obviously, somewhere to do your work from, unless you're lucky enough to work from home all the time. But office space is probably a large expense to a business, particularly if they're buying the property that they're working on. Obviously, the equipment that you need to do the task, whether that's a laptop, whether it's a great big machine, or something. Obviously, marketing, because we want to get our message out there to people, investing in promotions, getting the brand development, trying to attract customers, and so on. Your energy and utility bills. Obviously take up and all those other expenses that are ancillary. Obviously, your raw materials, and then probably your biggest expense if you're running a business bigger than one person is going to be the salaries and and your employees, whether that's their wages, training, benefits, trying to cover them when they go on holiday. Then your employees are a big cost to your business. So, how can we optimize that cost or reduce it? Well, obviously, you can recruit well, making sure that the hire process is streamlined. So you're not hit by big agency fees, advertising, and so on. Um, you can reduce your employee turnover, how quickly they join and then leave. So, uh, invest in satisfaction, Pizza Fridays, getting a healthcare plan through Mark, show them that they're loved, things like that, to stop people wanting to leave. Strategic staffing means planning the work schedule so that you are um, uh, planning your work schedule so that people are not having to work overtime. If it's a peak period, get people in part-time to help out rather than relying on staff to work the staff that you've got to work extra hours. Um, Upskill your employees, provide training to existing employees so they can take on more roles. That's always good. And then obviously implement technology solutions, which means they become more efficient. So automate the tasks that they're doing day to day, things that, we don't like having to do the same thing over and over again. Computers love doing that. So why don't we use them? So before we start automating our business processes, the first thing we've got to think about is, well, where's our information held? Um, and it's a real shame Alison isn't here because I know she'd love this. Typically, most businesses start off, they have Excel spreadsheets everywhere. They'll have an Excel spreadsheet for their customers, their orders, their stock inventory, their parts catalog, useful numbers. John's master spreadsheet, which nobody knows what it does, but is vitally important to the business, and it's sitting over there. But as well as those, all those Excel spreadsheets, there's other bits of data that we have to think about. So we've got our emails, we've got all those Word documents, PowerPoint presentations, and other things that we're creating. We've got our appointments in our diary. We need to, if we're a bigger business, we need to be able to share those. And then now with Microsoft Teams, we've got all this chat going on back and forth. That's real business intelligence in Microsoft Teams that you don't want to lose. So, what do we do about that? And then you've got all the external systems. So, you'll have a finance system, Xero or QuickBooks or Sage. If you've got staff, then you'll have a HR system. You may have a phone system. All these bits of data floating around, and they're all individual little silos. So what we need to do is bring them all together into a single centralized company database, where we can have one place with a customer name, one place with our orders, all stored in one place, so that we haven't got data duplication, we don't get errors. We can start also then making processes automated when a new customer comes on board, when a new order is received, when an order is shipped, we can obviously inform the customer. So where do we get a centralized company database? Oh, I jumped ahead, sorry. the but not everything that not everything that we store or have relates to would work easily within a database. So obviously we've still got all these external bits of information. Your files are still in OneDrive, your emails still in Outlook, John's master spreadsheet, which nobody knows what to do, what it does, is still there. And we've got all these external systems. The great news is that that centralized company database is part of Office 365, and it's called Microsoft Dataverse. And what Dataverse allows you to do is store a list of all your customers, your contacts, a copy of the emails that you've sent out to those customers and contacts, appointments, phone calls, and the great thing is that it will integrate with all those external systems, that are the right place to store that information. But it means you've got a single point where you can go in and view your customer or your orders. It's just one place to go. Now we've got all our data in one place, we can start thinking about automation. And when I'm talking about automation, we're talking about a three-step process. A trigger, something happens, a customer joins, an order's created. We have a process that runs, and we get a result at the end. So when we're talking about triggers, what do I mean? Well, it can be some examples that are on there. So things that you do day to day, you save a Word document in a particular folder, that might trigger some automation, or someone can complete an inquiry form on your website. You can send them an automation back saying, thank you for your message. It can send a phone call to your sales team to say, right, we need to ring this customer back. If they don't ring them back within a set time, it can flag it up to their manager, so on and so forth. If an engineer is on site and they've got a tablet with them, then they can complete the details about the job they've just done on the tablet. When they press the button, that can start the invoice, or create an invoice in your finance system that goes out to the customer. And on thinking about that feedback thing, you can then send a questionnaire to the customer saying, well, what did you think of that? How am I doing? Were they on time? Things like that. So um, uh, the other thing that you can do is you can integrate external systems as a trigger. So, for instance, Tesco do this. In Obviously, they have a link out to the Met Office. If they know that there's a sunny or hot heat wave coming in, or it's going to be sunny, then automatically their stock control system ships barbecues out to the stores, so that they're ready to service their customers. It's a great example of using an external system to automate a process, and then that's completely, when you're working on that kind of scale, you can imagine, but it's a good example anyway. So when we're talking about the process, how does that work? What do we mean? Well, the once we've got our trigger, we want to run a series of actions. So that can be as simple as just sending a notification to someone to say this has happened. But where you start getting real business benefit is when you start creating your business rules, how your business operates within uh, Office 365. So you can define that, John's entered his expenses, it's over £1,000, therefore it goes through to the manager, or there's a single payment on there that's over a certain value. So that then needs to be authorized. Or some other examples, it may be that when a stock level gets below 200 units, you know that it's going to take 3 weeks to get that item from your supplier, so it gets the order in before you've run out, rather than going to the shelf and going, yeah, we haven't got any more of those. Um, it can make decisions. You can put decision steps in there. So as I say, the rules such as the minimum quantity, those decision steps are changing with the introduction of AI. That we're starting to allow computers to make the decisions based on the information that they've got. But I'll come back to that. Um, it can be things like asking someone, do you approve this? So a message will pop up in Teams, maybe, or in your email, or both, saying you need to authorize this. You press the button, and then it'll either approve or reject it. It's all great for the stuff that's internal and stored in your Dataverse environment or within your 365 environment. But what 365 also allows you to do is integrate with external systems. So this Power Platform at the moment integrates with 450 applications external set, things like Twitter, Facebook, but also external business applications like Zero, and Breathe HR. If there aren't connectors already there, you can use a company like us and we can create them as well. So that data that sits outside of your organization can all of a sudden be used within your automated business processes. What's the end result? Well, you get improved efficiency, you're saving time because you've automated those manual processes. Um, you've got a simplified data and document management solution. So when you get that GDPR request in that says, what do you know about us? Or we want you to forget about us. You've just got one place to go to get that information. It provides visibility and transparency because the processes follow a path. Then you can go back and look at any one of those processes and say, well, okay, why did that happen? Who authorized this, or so on. Bit harder to do that when it's just on a nod and a wink. You increase your employee satisfaction because the mundane tasks that they're doing day to day are taken care of. So it increases their job satisfaction. And it also means that you can make those decisions quicker. You don't have to start from scratch. There's a whole host of predefined templates in there to get you started, and there's more being created all the time, and you can access it anywhere as you can with the whole of 365, whether that's on your phone, your tablet, in Timbuktu, walking in the Forest of Dean if you've got a mobile signal. Um, uh, and then what does this mean for the future? Well, as I say, once you've got your processes automated and your data in one place, it means you can move to the next step, which is analyzing your business, starting to look at where these little tweaks can be made, like a Formula One team, save a second here or save £1 there. And then that's will help you continue to reduce these costs. And of course, the hot topic of the day, artificial intelligence. Well, because your business processes are automated, it means that when someone logs an inquiry or, sorry, comes onto your website, AI can use these processes, either initiate them or use them to do something. A great example that I had was I spoke to a company that a skip hire company, and they wanted to be able to automate people booking skips through their website. So, we had a chat that they could create a chat bot where, it could welcome to ABC Skips. They put in the skip site, or it asked them what sort of skip they want or what sort of rubbish they're collecting. It then looks in the database to see what the availability is, comes back with a list of of cost. Sorry, if they accept the cost, it says, "Would you like me to book that in for you now?" They can It can give them a set of dates or ask when they want to collect it, and then come back to them and say, "Well, I can't do this date, but I can do this date. Would that be accessible?" Yes, and then ask for that, and then forward them through to their payment details. All of a sudden, you've got a company that's available 24 hours a day, but it's using those processes that are in their house already. So, how can we maximize business profits? Well, use the technology that you've already got, whether that's through automation, whether that's through keeping your data in one place, whether that is through using the tools that you've already got access to that maybe you haven't learned how to use. Come and speak to a company like us, and we'll be able to help you with that. Invest in your IT infrastructure, obviously, and look for those places where you can reduce your costs, specifically your staff costs, and then also think about how you can store data differently, and that can lead to those efficiencies. Hopefully, as I've shown you today, process automation can help you reduce time and cost, most importantly, and use, it is there, it's coming. If you're not using it, your competitors will be. Use artificial intelligence especially for customer service. So what I'm looking for businesses that are around 10 or more people that are looking to scale up. Uh, so we implement this day one. It means that when you're on day 100, it's still the same business. You're not scrabbling around thinking, well, how can we make this work? Because now we've got 100 people to coordinate. We're looking for businesses that are looking to improve their efficiency, and obviously then people who need day-to-day IT support or phone lines. Are you still awake? But if you'd like to know more, I'd love to have a one-to-one with you. You can reach out to me on my email or through the business club, and I'd be more than happy to show you with a demo some of the things that I've talked about today.